Hey there, Jared here. I know it's been a while since you've heard from the guys and myself, and we're sorry about that. A lot has been going on for all of us, and as much as we love doing the show, it's not what we do for a living, so sometimes it has to be put on the back burner. We will work hard not to let that happen. As you may know, it has been a year since we started this show, and it has been so much fun to record. If you're just joining us, or have been with us since episode 1, we appreciate you listening, and I hope you laughed with us. Now to get to the main reason you're tuning in. Unfortunately, we do not have a new episode for you, but we will be putting out some new content soon, just bear with us. To hold you over, until then, I've made an episode of the best moments of the year. So sit down, fill your glass, and let's laugh together.
Madagascans digging up relatives who died from the Black Death and dancing with corpses are risking spreading the plague again.
What's wrong with that?
Those all sound like good metal band names.
Oh, I know,
All what you
right?
just said there, Dances with Corpses. I'm sure it already is.
Dances with corpses,
Mm-hmm.
died from Black Death, Madagascans.
Madagascans, just one name.
Can you imagine that in like metal font? You couldn't even...
Madagascans.
Anyways, so this reads, people living in Madagascar have been warned that the risk of spreading the plague after dancing with corpses of their loved ones who have died from the Black Death. Which really, how much more metal can you get? Locals of the African island have been ordered to stop the practice of famadiana, which involves them digging up the bodies of deceased relatives and dancing with them before they are reburied.
Practice.
See, you don't bury me. That's what would make me dirty. So if you're gonna do my body as a puppet, use it as a puppet or put it on your crawl space. Don't bury it. Just straight to steal it.
If you're going to abuse my body for your own pleasure, don't bury it.
I just
Don't.
take you
Don't
to...
bury it.
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of your well-being.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a good friend.
You know what? I'll just skip all that, take you to a taxidermist, and then I'll wash you down, every day, keep you nice and clean.
Jason,
Just...
shh. They should be quiet in there.
I think it's something you ought to take with
closet.
You
you.
want to watch TV?
You
All right,
wanna-
let's
you
watch
wanna watch
TV
TV?
together.
Every
Let's
time
eat
you
some
go,
applesauce. Eat some applesauce.
You'd be a
Jason.
great coffee table.
You're a hungry
I'd have
boy.
you like this, like the,
Oh, God.
like the crab walk.
You wouldn't
and then
want
your
that.
face is like that. No, you'd have clothes on, all right? You're thinking
Why?
probably naked. All right. I mean,
If you're gonna do it, go 100%.
No. See,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
conversation.
cut that part off
It's
and
a-
put it as a mantelpiece.
Yes.
I was thinking you'd be
Yeah.
like,
Your door handle.
Yes,
Like,
my
no,
door
no,
handle.
I already
It'd
had an
take-
idea for
it would
that,
take
okay?
It would take
I already had an
forever.
idea.
For that.
It would take forever to get out the front door.
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
I was thinking maybe like
It's like a baby carrot.
Well, no.
a toilet paper holder.
No, that's-
toilet
that's-
paper holder.
Toilet
You know,
paper
you
holder's
just
better.
stick it on there and
Oh.
rip it off.
What were we talking about?
as fun as defiling my dead corpses. Locals of the African island. Oh, yeah, I've been ordered to stop, blah, blah, blah. It's feared that the ceremony has been responsible for sparking an outbreak of pneumonic plague that has killed more than 120 people on the island. Yeah, I can already call this. That island's going to get shut down and bombed at one point in time. Just mark my words. See, I've already lost all our fans from Madagascar.
Quarantined.
One shot.
Yeah.
Them dang Madagascans.
Oh, my gosh. This guy's last name. Willie Randri Mariota.
Nailed it.
My
The country's health chief.
I heard Ray Liotta.
I
in
heard,
there
I
somewhere.
heard my areola.
Ray Liotta.
That's what I heard.
We'll do
Baseball
that.
player?
Willie Ray Liotta, the country's health
it's my
chief, told
areola.
the Sun.
Just say it. It'll make you feel better.
My areola. I'm the health chief. 'Cause if you lick my nipple, it'll heal all things.
You don't have to dance with corpses if you lick my nips.
If a person dies of pneumonic plague, it is
Don't. Just keep reading.
Jason, for God's sakes, finish the
Gosh,
story.
I know, right? Let's see. Hold on. If a person dies from the pneumonic plague and is then interred into a tomb that is subsequently opened, you're gonna die over there, man. I'm telling you, he's so fixated on either touching my penis as a
licking my
toilet holder
nipple.
or licking a nipple. Okay, the bacteria can still be transmitted and contaminated whoever handles the body, obviously. The bizarre tradition has been banned since the outbreak first began, but it's believed that traditional ceremony is still continuing because people are idiots. I'm sorry. Once again, all the fans that held to the last insult
Jason,
are gone.
Dancing with these bodies will help it rain. Don't you understand? And make the rain come.
Make it rain.
In the dry times.
Make it rain in the... Island of
like a magical
Madagascar.
being. I didn't know this is science. This is how this works. Anytime I need like my taxes done, I just want you to come over with a dead corpse and just dance around. I will get you a good return.
Chicken bones and like a maraca.
Yeah, just like take the bones and shake them and throw them on the floor and be like, bad luck, Jason. You're going to die from cancer. I brought you over here to do taxes. What are you doing? Okay. At present, more than, 1,200 people have been infected with the pneumonic strain of the disease. Ooh. That's a dangerous game.
And is it fatal?
It's the Black Plague.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Is it
Possibly.
dangerous?
Is it dangerous? I don't know. Let's go dance with the dead body and see. We'll consult with the spirits.
Fine.
Despite having a largely non-existent Western world, Despite being largely non-existent in the Western world, I mean, we know what Madagascar. I mean, its existence. I've seen the movie.
I think he's
with
talking about
Ben
Black
Stiller,
Plague.
who plays the
I think he's talking
giraffe.
about talking about the Black Plague.
A lion.
lion, whatever.
I think they're talking about that demonic plague.
Well, yeah, because no one's digging up bodies and dancing with them to make it rain.
That's what he means.
Despite being, whatever.
Shame on you.
Within the World Health Organization described flu-like symptoms of the disease. Yeah, it turns out, just don't dance with dead bodies. Gosh, man. It's just like the same rule when you find a sucker on the ground. Don't pick it up and put it in your mouth.
Wash it off first.
Don't dig up your dead cousin and put him in your mouth.
You ever dance with the Madagascan in the pale moonlight?
Don't put your cousin in your mouth, for God's sake.
Oh my dead cousin. God.
Okay, this is about the Fountain of Youth.
Ah, yes.
A different spin on it, though. A man drinks the young people's urine to stay forever young.
I want to be forever young.
Do you ever want to drink some urine? Forever.
That was a great song.
I just think of Napoleon Dynamite every time I hear that song.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Anyways,
geez.
please tell me more about this because I need to learn how to stay young.
You know, it's hilarious because it said it starts out by saying addiction is a terrible thing as a person can become addicted to literally anything, including urine. Robert Wells.
Bear Grylls, 2017.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Just once, though.
He should start a school.
Yeah.
Since he's a sommelier of
Yeah,
urine,
sommelier.
he should be like, you get into my program. I'll train you right.
I'll teach you how to survive in the desert, in the rainforest, in the ocean, in a river where you can drink water.
It's a short course.
In the supermarket. Drink your piss. Drink your piss. Drink your piss. Drink your piss. Drink your piss.
It's a very short course. It's about 15 minutes long.
Well, he also says that it specifically has to come from young children.
Oh my God.
In order to remain forever young.
no.
Oh, wait a minute now. It gets better.
Is it straight from the tap?
I don't think better is. No.
Let me read on.
If I had a rolled up newspaper, you'd be getting bopped, son.
Says the man's fascination with urine is not sexually biased, but built on the strange fantasy that drinking kids' urine will prevent
Strange
him.
fantasy is also sexual bias,
He must tread softly now.
Robert
Yes.
is not a pedophile, he says.
as they all do.
In the third person, he talks about himself.
Yeah. Robert is not a pedophile.
Oh, this is his.
Robert
this is
only
his.
likes drinking
Him talking here.
Yes.
Robert's not a pedophile.
Robert doesn't
Nonsense.
drink children's urine because I'm a pedophile.
Absorb their power that way.
Whip that thing out.
I'm literally channeling the essence of 1,000 children right now. God, Robert.
Oh, Robert's.
Someone needs to take Robert out real quick.
Oh, Robert.
Well, it said that that's really all he wants. Dr. Mike Dow says an addiction specialist explained the video Medical Daily reported Wells knows his unusual behavior is morally wrong. But hey, I can't stop. The other addiction, he said, but like other addictions, this is not enough to keep him satisfied from his urine urges. That's the end of the story.
God. Honestly, that story should end with Robert was killed later that evening. We realized our moral duty, and as a reporter, I had to strangle him to death. Aircraft engineer avoids jail after removing a man's testicle in a motel room.
Sounds logical.
This one is from...
There's some things that aren't really lining up with this whole story.
Not anymore for him. He's only got one.
He's off balance.
Just call me Uniball.
I walk to the right. Always now.
Wait, you saying it happened in prison?
No. This aircraft engineer...
Please
Aircraft engineer-
tell me it happened in prison.
Wait, where am I?
This is just a motel.
Because it will bring back fond memories.
Whose house am I in?
Oh my gosh.
Whose house am I in?
All right, I'm just gonna read this here. An aircraft engineer who removed the left testicle of a man who wanted to change
Oh no,
genders
poor Lefty.
has been. I don't understand. A man who removed the left testicle of a man who wanted to change genders. You have to remove more than just your testicles to change gender.
Why not the right? Did they flip a coin and was like lefty or right?
I guess it only takes one to change it. I don't know. This guy's mindset was it only takes one.
They were like calling
Pretty
in the
sure
air.
you can still have kids with one testicle.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure you're still a man if you have a penis.
You think you're better than
you gotta, like-
with your nuts?
You got to remove both and then push really hard.
Just fold it in on itself.
Wait.
It's got to be inverted.
Do you think they said it was like heads is lefty, tails is righty, call him in the air, bang?
Heads, tails. I don't know. We'll just take the left one, Steve. Okay.
No, not lefty.
Alan George Matthews surgically removed the man's testicle in Port Macquarie. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Sounds
I'm
good.
sorry. I'm an idiot. Motel room in May 2016 after answering an online ad from the victim calling for help to transition gender. Like, don't put sex change Craigslist ads. Come on, you're gonna die. Or your organ's gonna end up on some kind of weird black market, guys. Come on. Matthews, 58.
You know what the hands are somebody's
God,
ball
and
in
you're
your hands.
58.
Do you have a rusty machete? Well, call me now.
Yeah.
We'll slap it on the table and get it done.
I was watching America's Next Top Model, and I thought it would be real fun to not have my genitals anymore. So if you got 5 hours or so of free time on Saturday, come on over. Looks like it was a 53-year-old man. Oh, God, guys, be smarter. Police investigation began when the younger man, being 53, presented to hospital for a few weeks after the procedure. So he went with this for forever. Treatment of an infected wound. The court heard the victim had, from 2013, posted on social media about his desire to transition gender. He said he needed help, which is, I do sympathize with that. Yeah. And, man, just don't go crazy. Come on.
So he's got one ball left?
Yeah, and some kind of disease. It was alleged Matthews said that he was medically trained and had extensive medical kit and would be happy to assist you on your path. The two arranged to meet in a that's that word again, I can't read. Motel room for a procedure in mid-May 2016. After the operation, the two men exchanged a series of text messages regarding the wound seeping. Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
A fortnight, which means 2 weeks, after the removal, the man saw his GP, who recommended he attend the hospital. Sir, your genitals have been completely
Infected.
completely destroyed. Looks like you did this with a dull butter knife. Staff there realized the procedure
butter
hadn't
was
been
involved.
performed. I realized that it hadn't been performed by a qualified person.
What?
Oh my God!
So like,
Your genitals look like
Seeing
hamburger meat.
patterns of an aircraft engineer in these incisions.
I mean, genitals don't
It
look
turns
good
out-
as it is, but
Well, it's not exactly an engine on a 747, but I can make it work. God. Detectives subsequently arrested Matthews and searched his Glen Innes home in late June. They seized medical and electronic equipment, not electronical. 4 bottles of what I've been drinking. 4 bottles of what is suspected to be amyl nitrate and firearms.
So they went to the home of the guy who did this surgery, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an unusual case, the judge said. There is no payment for or favor offered and sought between the offender and the complainant. Judge Jeffries said significant media attention meant Matthews had suffered serious loss as a result of the case. His 38-year career as an aircraft engineer was finished. I'm just going to leave it there.
Probably a good idea. Probably a good
So
idea.
on your resume it says you're an aircraft engineer. What happened to that?
What happened to that? Well, I wanted to take a man's genitals off, but only one testicle. I want to leave everything else intact. Because if you have one genital, apparently that means your sex has changed.
what am I, a monster? I didn't want to take both, just the one.
I wonder if it was just like
I'm not a savage.
he was doing it while he was awake and was like, "Wow, bro, this really hurts. Please stop." And he was like, "Okay."
Well, we're already halfway
well,
through,
no.
so
It'd be a shame to stop now.
Yeah, no. Don't stop me 'cause you have a good time.
Florida man
Yes.
tries to set motel on fire to barbecue all the child molesters.
Burn, baby, burn.
What was this one of us?
Not the hero we need.
For the hero Florida deserves.
There's no better spot to burn child molesters than Florida.
Burn any building down, you'll
Yeah, I was
hit
about
one.
to say, you can still imagine any direction you're going to catch somebody.
Kissimmee, Florida. Florida man is in jail after he was accused of trying to kill sex offenders, authorities said. According to investigators, Jorge Porto Sierra, 50, tried to set the men on fire. He's been charged with 4 counts of attempted premeditated murder.
You touched my father.
My name is Jorge.
Also, the county detectives say Porto Sierra confessed to deputies that he tried to kill multiple people at the Friendly Village Inn. Yeah, okay. That's the name of the place. After his March 7th arrest, Porto Sierra said he arrived at the motel to barbecue all the child molesters on fire and kill them. That in quotes.
I want to barbecue them, the child molesters on fire.
WESH2.
That's racist.
WESH2 reported that 2 of the 4 victims are convicted sexual offenders. Witnesses told deputies Porto Sierra made several threats, screaming, "I'm going to kill you, child molester," and began throwing gasoline on their front door.
I'm going
When
to kill
asked-
you, child molester.
I'm going to kill you, man.
I'm going to kill you, man. My
When
name is
asked by deputies why he did not carry out his threats, Porto Sierra said, "You got here too soon." Sierra remains behind bars at the Osceola County Jail. He's being held on no bond.
Another news: the reports of child molestation in Florida
on the
have
rise.
skyrocketed. Jeez.
Oh man, that man's Batman in Florida.
Yeah, he was. He was Batman. Batman. Oh man, that's. Well, what did it say? 2 of his 4 victims were.
Yeah, the rest is just collateral damage.
Yeah, I was about to say 50% is still pretty
Pretty good. That's a good odds. you know?
Especially if you're, once again, like we said in Florida, to light a match, throw it in any direction, you're going to hit a child molester.
Well, okay, 2 out of 4 are child molesters or sexual offenders.
The other 2 just aren't convicted.
But 4 out of 4 are still from Florida.
Either one of those is good. I like you guys. I like you.
Chinese Daredevil roof-topping star falls 62 stories to his death. So he's one of those people that they'll climb some ridiculously high
Like
skyscraper or
The
tower.
YouTube videos that they're doing dumb stuff.
so
So this
they
was only a matter of time.
Take a selfie of themselves just, standing on a little rail somewhere. But this is in Beijing. It says, again, a Chinese roof-topping star fell to his death while performing a stunt last month, local media has reported. Chinese police confirmed that I'm gonna butcher a lot of names in this. I'm just letting you know now.
It's all right.
Wu Yongning fell to his death in November from the 62-story Huayan Center in Hunan, the Beijing News reported on Monday. Hunan. That looks like how I would
That's
pronounce
number
that.
15 at China Buffet.
Yeah.
It is Hunan beef, yeah.
Roof-topping is the practice of accessing rooftops to capture skyline photography or perform stunts. The footage is often live-streamed or posted on social media. Wu posted his last video to
Low-hanging fruit.
You were about to do it, though. You were about to do it.
You saw my mouth. I was like, all right, whatever.
He posted his last video to what I'm assuming is maybe a social media for them. Weibo? Is that how you pronounce that? Weibo?
I guess
I'm going to go with that.
Flubber?
On November 8th, a 30-second clip showing him doing pull-ups from the edge of a high-rise building.
With his hands?
He just didn't have that upper body strength that he needed.
According to the Beijing News, authorities were first alerted to Wu's fatal accident on November 9th by his girlfriend after Wu failed to return from a stunt the previous day. When he did not pick up her calls or return her messages, she thought at first that he had been detained by the authorities, but he had in fact fallen from a 263-meter tall building. Wu was last seen by a window cleaner at the building's rooftop, the report said.
I saw him real quick.
It
I got a job to do.
It added that Wu had climbed about 20 stories to the roof, as the lift only services the first 40 floors of the building. So he was way up there.
Sorry.
Wu's family said the 26-year-old had taken part in a roof-topping challenge that promised about $15,000, excuse me, in prize money.
Why would? Okay, so you've seen that? Have you ever seen that video of the crane that's on top of like? It's the tallest building apparently in China, or of course that's what it says online. But there's this like red crane on top of it because they were continuing to build, and it goes up like another like 200 feet. Oh wow! And there's these videos of these people climbing it, and it's just like it looks like you can't see the ground because they're in the clouds. Yeah. So they're inside a cloud climbing, and there's like an inch of ice on everything, and they're just like climbing up, and they're just like with all these pictures, and I'm just waiting for one just to fall into the mist. And it's like,
oh,
my
poof,
gosh.
as he breaks through the clouds.
That's I can never understand these. Every time I see these videos of people like doing stupid stuff, the only thing I could think of is like, can you imagine what it'd be like to be on the ground and like you just got your dream job and everything's fantastic, and then literally like someone road pizzas in front of you just turns into like instant road pizza. Woo, where are Woo?
So,
All right.
I might have missed it in the story, but was he trying to jump to another roof,
No,
or
he
it
was
just fell off?
He was just climbing to like, I guess to the top of the building or to the point he was trying to reach.
That's a shame because you know he had good running shoes over there.
I got a little bit left of the story. I'm gonna finish up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wu's
Don't let me stop you.
Wu's step uncle, Lord Fang Xing Liang, was quoted as saying that he may have risked his life for the prize money. He planned to propose to his girlfriend the day after the challenge. Fang said he needed the money for the wedding and for medical treatment for his ailing mother, or from him falling off a building. Wu had worked as a film extra before turning to a career in roof topping. And
Jackie Chan died? Is that what happened?
No.
In February,
Jackie
he
Chan
began
is
posting.
He
his
doesn't die. I don't think he can.
I would like to be a porn star, says man who has 19-inch long penis.
Oh God.
Since
I
we
would
were
also
talking
like
about-
to murder people.
So
Immediately, I can do both.
You want your insides rearranged? I can do it on camera.
Give me a call. This is from vagabomb.com. There's a lot of debate around.
Classy name for vagabond.com.
There's a lot of debate around whether size matters or not. But if you ask Mexico's Roberto Esquivel Cabrera, for him, size is everything that matters.
This is my Esquivel.
With an 18.9-inch penis, Robert Esquivel Cabrera claims to have the biggest member in the world.
I don't. Okay. I was nervous.
your phone
He
around,
whipped
I was
that
like,
phone around to show me.
Well,
and
here we
I
go.
was.
I guess I'm committed to this.
That's a knee slapper.
This is my life now.
I think it's that snake. I don't know about you.
That is a knee slapper, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that goes right hand in hand with our last story. Except one is not a 14-inch python.
You can even see the belt buckle we used to tie it down.
What I don't understand is how are you going to do how are you going to do porn? Are you literally just going to show up on stage, get an erection, and black out? There is no way. That's got to take at least
a lot of blood.
a
You don't
liter
even
of
see
blood.
him in the camera.
And just the door opens. Chris is in. This thing's got its own gravitational pull.
54-year-old Roberto Cabrera rose to fame in 2015 after a video of him weighing his penis went viral.
Everybody's a hero in their own right,
Yes,
I
that's
guess.
right. Yes.
While it may seem funny to everyone else, a penis that is nearly 19 inches long has made Roberto's life miserable. He can't go to work and earn a living for himself or have a normal sex life.
Wow, what do you know? So you pay me to literally murder people on camera. I can't have a normal sex
He's
life.
been married 3
so
times.
I might as well do.
And each wife has died.
Yeah.
I'm a hitman, but I only kill with blunt objects.
What kind of weapon you taking in there? I'm already packing.
Touche.
Oh, I see. I cannot wear a uniform like anybody in the companies, and I can also not get on my knees.
That would be trouble.
I cannot run fast, and so the companies think badly of me.
What company are you needing to run fast? What kind of job? Well, I'm wondering who's he applying for, because he's like, I can't wear the uniforms, which you
Or
easily
like
can't.
mechanic,
I can't
like
get
a
on my
mechanic,
knees.
like
Well,
a commanding.
I was thinking of like the mailman and those shorts they wear in the summer.
Oh God.
That would be trouble.
It's just hanging out the bottom.
Yeah.
Or UPS.
I got the paper for you, Tom.
Oh, where's it at? Well, you know, found a new delivery method. My hands are free.
Don't worry. Don't
just
move.
hang the bag.
Don't move. It is more scared of you than you are of it.
Don't look him in the eye.
Don't look him in the eye.
Don't look him in the eye.
God.
Anywho.
They say that they will call me, but they never do. So poor.
So so saying they will call me, but they never do. Okay, I understand you got a 19-inch, or was it 19.8?
18.9.
Oh, 18.9 inch penis. So first off, I'm very sorry. Second,
No, I'm not.
no, I'm very sorry. I can't imagine what that's like.
It's too much of a good thing.
Yeah,
It is.
that's man. It's like a baguette.
It's bigger.
Yeah, but the thing is like, and they never call me back. So are you going into the interview and you're like, "Hi, my name's so and so. Let's just get this out of the way now." I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but I'm
do a
sure
desk
you
job.
could.
That's exactly what I was
you
thinking.
could hide
Desk
it.
job.
You could. I mean, if it's you got enough.
He might lift his
Play
desk
it
off
up.
the
Buy you a
ground.
new desk every once in a
Yeah.
while. I broke it in half again.
It's just I don't understand. Like he's got to be saying that in his interview, or literally making it so unbelievably obvious. You know, to be like, you know, sir, what is that? And he was like, well, funny you should ask.
How do you hide? How are you going to bundle that up, though?
I don't know. Figure out a way.
Hanging down a leg.
So apparently, I just showed you a picture of what he does, and it's just hanging there. It's,
Zip tie it.
it's literally over his kneecap.
It's a holster.
How are you?
It needs a holster.
That's probably what it is. Maybe okay. So he's tried going down. What about going back up?
So he tuck it in his own. Never mind. I don't want to drink
Not
yet.
down and around.
No, not down and around. Like literally, like go up and then like belt it to your chest. Just like
That way you don't have to have two belts. You just use the one belt.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You keep it in place.
just keep it right there, right around your chest, and you get to say you got tumors.
Oh my god, this is the best part right here. So it causes. I'm sorry, it gets urinary tract infections. But he says he has to keep his penis wrapped in bandages, and then he can't sleep on his stomach. He needs a separate pillow for his penis at night.
What a time to be alive!
Oh my god. Oh. Louisiana woman creates frog bikini. When Fabiana LaFleur decided to make her own bikini, she hopped right to it, which makes sense since she used frogs as the material. 28-year-old LaFleur lives in Henderson, Louisiana, and grew up hunting and fishing around the bayou.
Around the bayou.
Her father taught her not to waste anything from an animal.
Don't wear anything from an animal.
When my father took a deer, he always made it a point to use every part that he could.
I use the mouth, I use the butthole, I use everything. Everything I use it.
Not only eating the meat, but also tanning the hides.
Oh, yeah.
I continually tan the hides.
Sometimes even carving the bones into knife handles.
Oh, I do it. I use every part. That sounds about right.
She recently decided to apply her father's advice to amphibians. I went out hunting and caught 7 frogs, which worked out well because one of them didn't turn out well.
Turned out I only need 6. And, 7 was just too much, but it worked out. Just a happy accident.
I didn't choose carefully from a large catch. The most difficult part of making the bikini was the skinning of the frogs.
Is that frogs are kind of small. You can't get not a lot of skin on those things.
Normally, to fillet a frog, you would just make a cut around the belly and pull off the pants to expose the legs.
Pants.
That's by you speaking.
Pants.
Just rip the skin off the legs down.
And no frog wear pants.
To keep the whole thing intact. I had to turn them completely inside out without damaging the skin, so it's a more delicate operation. The results, as you can see, are truly riveting. Photos of LaFleur in the frog swimsuit are going viral.
You see, it's real hard because I got to cover up my titties with frog skin. And there's not a lot of skin on frogs, so...
Can I see a picture of this lady?
Yeah, yes, you can. It's actually
I can't.
not
I
bad.
can't decide whether it's attractive or not. I'm trying. My brain is. I thought she actually had skinned the frogs, and like they look like frogs that just had strings tied around their legs.
so
She didn't
basically,
even have to skin
they're
them.
like strung together.
So I think I'm looking at 3 frogs here.
Yes.
maybe 4.
Well, maybe you got 2 for the butt cheeks as well, so and maybe 3 for the skin in between. You got to cover up your private area in case you're doing activities as well.
Oh yeah, it just looks like she
They don't even
Like-
look like they're
it's like-
skinned.
like
They-
bought some like frogs out of what do they call that, from like a taxidermist, and just like put some strings
yeah,
through them and
basically,
just
yeah.
strapped
That's
them
the
to
confusing
herself.
part is they really don't look like they're skinned. They look like
Been gutted and
Like
well,
Loaded
not
frogs.
even gutted. It looks like you've basically taken and nailed 2 frogs' face together, and there's still nothing's been done to them. You just did this, and then tied some strings around their legs, and then made the bra strap. And the same thing with like, I don't know what's going on in the downstairs. There's a bit of a mix-up going on down there.
Downstairs mix up.
Seen you downstairs mix-up. You know me. You love me. I'm hungry.
Remember the boat times?
You pull me up with your big strong arms.
Urbanites might find the idea of going skin to skin with an amphibian a little hard to take, but LaFleur said frog hides are no different from any other animal byproduct used to
where is
make
this
clothing.
at?
Louisiana.
Oh yeah, it would be.
The only difference is that you can really see what they are in my suit. I didn't cut off the limbs and the heads. I thought it was more interesting aesthetic. Personally, the process of extracting silk from worms seems a lot grosser than stitching a couple hoppers together.
Really? Because you know what happens when you extract silk from worms? You just let them make silk, and then you take it, or you hook them up to a machine where it literally just kind of pulls it out of them at a slow pace. But I guess, taking an animal, gutting it, pulling its pants off, and stretching the skin over your bits is definitely less horrifying than just letting it produce silk on its own. But what do I know?
Once the frog hides were dried, she sewed them together and then covered them with several layers of shellac to make the bikini waterproof. Although she is happy with the results, LaFleur admits wearing the suit presents some challenges. They don't have an underwire, so there's not as much support
Not a
as
lot
a
of support
standard
from my
bathing
breastises.
suit. She said, as a piece of sportswear, a wardrobe malfunction would be inevitable.
Well, yeah, you do the activities. You dance around a lot more longer.
My uncle has a bear skin hanging in our family's hunting cabin, and my mother says I should hang it right next to that. She said, I think it's a pretty good place for it. She hopes her frog bikini inspires more people to find ways to use materials they would otherwise discard. However, she has no plans to go into the business selling similar suits. The process really isn't efficient enough to charge a reasonable price. I'd be more
Or
inclined to
anything.
give them a more detailed explanation of how I made mine. Stuffing a frog is definitely not a carefully guarded trade secret. School to stop spanking pupils on their birthdays after parents complain.
What? That don't sound right.
A Texas elementary school takes action after receiving complaints saying pupils can choose a hug or a high five instead.
I can choose. So what you're telling me is I can still get my spankings if I want them. Okay.
That's what Dr. Messer said.
That's what I want.
A school in Texas is going to stop spanking its pupils on birthdays after parents complain about the special celebration. Superintendent of the local independent school district, Dr. Randy Brown, said the head teacher at Alvord Elementary School had decided on her own accord to discontinue the tradition. In an earlier letter, the principal, Bridget Williams, wrote to parents to make clear that the practice was optional. Said that if parents would prefer their child to not receive birthday spankings, they should please write and send the office a handwritten note. Explaining the practice, Ms. Williams said that people may receive birthday spankings along with a birthday special day pencil and a piece of candy.
This guy got so rapey, right? Or like so quick.
Here's your candy.
Let me touch your butt. Here's a piece of candy.
Any student who rejected a spanking has the option of a hug or a high five.
Or a spanking.
I mean,
I'll take the spanking, please.
It's just weird that they have to have a
Handwritten note.
handwritten note to not get spanked. They're like, "Oh, you didn't get your handwritten note."
This looks like it was signed by you. Bend over. I don't like this game.
This looks forged.
Yeah, this looks forged, Timothy.
You're in for it now.
Can you prove it?
We're gonna pretend you're 24 now instead.
Hard to believe she's already 18.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
But Miss Williams said no more than 5 people had requested something other than the birthday swan over the past 8 years. Children just asking for it, huh?
Yeah.
She said that the spankings were on.
No. That goes on the list of things we do not say. We need to leave that in, though. That was so funny. Oh, man. Children just asking for it.
She said that the spankings were on camera and there were always other
I bet they
adults in
were.
the office celebrating with us.
Oh, my God. I have every recording at home.
Dr. Brown, man with the
They're on a
biggest
loop.
hand in all of town, said he had a child at the school and did not have any issue with the practice.
Oh, man.
I got them at home in my basement on a loop.
I have no problem with this. I let him out of the basement once every 5 months, and it's for his spanking.
To his knowledge, that is Dr. Brown, the school had received 2 complaints and had issues much more important to focus on other than this one. CBS 11 said it had been contacted by a parent who described the practice as inappropriate, but more than a dozen others disagreed.
Nah, spank him. Touch my children.
This always goes well.
Yeah. Jeez. I feel like there's a lot of
Everything's
the way it's worded, everything in this thing is the way it's worded is just like these kids are in a terrible position,
Right.
and someone needs to call somebody.
they've conditioned him to treat spanking as a treat,
Yeah,
which
that's gonna be
to me shouldn't come until you're maybe 18,
Was this a
19 years old.
was this a public school, private school?
This to my knowledge is that it is a public school. It's an elementary school.
Oh, God.
Elementary.
Yeah.
School.
which is even creepier.
I mean, you could have like one of those hot teachers that you're like, oh, it's my birthday.
It was your birthday last week, Timothy. I'm older by a day. Just one finger.
Been held back like a couple years.
Why is my name being used?
Everybody comes back here. I have one student. He's 35, and he keeps on coming back every year.
Now, as you're spanking me, grab me around the throat and squeeze so I almost lose consciousness.
Oh my gosh. No, that's good. That's real good.
That's perfect right there.
You're turning purple. No, it's fine.
It's fine. All right, you can let go. Let go. Let none of us speak to each other till next year. Oh my gosh.